Hello, welcome back to Ginny's. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to be showing you how to temper chocolate. So this is this elusive thing that baffles me and I know quite a lot of people. So I thought let's dig into this and get it done and see if I can find ways of showing you how to do this easily. So first of all, I found that chocolate is the most important thing with tempering. So I use these chocolates here, so either or. So I think it's Balcolade, my pronunciation's not fantastic, or the Calibute. So I'm going to be doing milk chocolate with you today. I use either or of these two, depending on which one's in stock at the time from my supplier. They seem more expensive because you buy them in bulk, but actually when you break them down, they aren't any more expensive than just the little bags of mini chocolate chips that you buy, which aren't proper chocolate. Now, when I say proper chocolate, I know there's a word for these things, but I'm not going to get into anything scientific with you. So, if it says cocoa butter, cocoa solids, let me see, 1 second. I'm trying to find the English so that I can read it. Right, so this has sugar, cocoa butter, whole milk, cocoa mass. So there aren't loads of other things, and it's that cocoa butter that's really, really important. Again, with this one, it should be exactly the same. The ones that you buy in the supermarket don't necessarily have that component in it, and they have oils in it and things like that. And unfortunately, they don't temper well. It doesn't mean you can't use them, but they won't get that snap that everyone talks about, and they won't get that massive shine. So it's really up to you. You can use either or, but if you want that massive shine and the snap, you need to use a proper chocolate. So that's that. That's enough of my chatting. Let's get on with it. So first of all, I'm going to take some milk chocolate. I am going to write all the different temperatures that you need to take this to for the various different chocolates: plain, milk, white. And I'm going to put that in this V in the comments box underneath. So drop that down and all those temperatures will be there and you can find them easily and just screenshot it. So I've got myself some chocolate. I don't want to do loads. Right, that'll do. Let's get rid of this. Right, now we need to bring this to between 40 and 45 degrees. So you are going to need a thermometer. Now you can use one of the probe ones if you want, but these are just easier and you get them on Amazon and they're quite cheap and they're fun. And then also I am going to tip mine out. I've done it in both ways and I found this was the easiest way to get the temperature down, so long as you've got a really clean unit, which I have. I've given it a thorough clean. So I'm going to use my cake scraper and palette knife because baking, I have these and I found they work. So this onto the back. I've got some water on here. Now my water is only about 1 inch. The water cannot touch the bowl, so if you've got a really low bowl, do not make sure that water comes right down. So I'm just going to pop that straight onto the top there. And what we need to do is just give it a second for a bit of heat to come, and we always want to keep stirring it. If you don't keep stirring it, this bit is going to get really hot, the top bit isn't, so it's really making sure that we're distributing that heat all the time, all the way around, and that you've got this. So we want to bring this to 40 degrees, to 40 to 45, okay, is where we're going with the milk chocolate. There we go, it's starting to stick already, so now I need to start stirring. So we want to bring this to 40, 45 degrees. My bowl gets really, really hot, so as soon as it gets to about 38, 39, I take it off because the heat from the bowl just makes it keep on and on heating for a second. So I learnt that when I did it. So I'm just going to keep stirring this all the way around and keep going until this gets like 3/4 of it is melted, and then I'm going to take the temperature. So I'll come back to you in a sec. Right, now I'm at 39. I'm going to remove this, bring it over. Don't forget this. I'm going to leave that on the back. Give this a stir around and just keep stirring until, yeah, see mine is, now I've taken that off, I took it off at 39 and now it is 43. So it does keep going because this bowl is so hot. So Just going to keep going here until all of this is melted. Let's check that temperature. It's 41 now, because as I'm moving it around, it is bringing the temperature down. Right, keep going. And then when you've seen all of that chocolate is melted, lovely. What we want to do then is take out onto our work surface. Hang on, I've got a bit of water. You don't want water at all, it's the condensation of the bottom of the bowl. Okay. Right. Take out 3/4 of our mixture and leave some back, because this is going to stay warm in here and that's what we want. So we're going to leave that to one side, pick up our little things, right, and then scoop it out like this. I actually really enjoy this. Use your scraper and bring it in. Now I've got this desk here, which I got and I love, but my units behind would be just as good. Just I couldn't do it on there because you wouldn't have seen me do it. So, sorry about the noise. It isn't that fun. Right, let's take the temperature, see where we are. That's 32. This needs to come down to between about 27 degrees, okay? So we've got a little bit to go, but just moving it around just brings that temperature down, and it's really relaxing. So just keep going, and you'll notice it starts to get thicker. Lovely. I'm just where I want it to be. I'm at 27. So now we want to put it back in, because we bring it down to that temperature, and then to use it we need to get it to 30, 30 and a half, 31. We'll go for 30. You'll see all of these temperatures underneath, and I'll write it out easily for you. So the reason we held some of that back is just so that now, hopefully, ooh, I threw chocolate everywhere. Now, hopefully, when we move this around in there, the heat from the other one is going to bring it to that optimum 30 that we want. There we go. Right. Let's give this a stir around and take that temperature. Okay, mine is 32 on there, so I'm just going to give it a few stirs around just to bring that down to the 30. Lovely, so that is exactly where I want it to be. Right, you're going to have to excuse this mess that I've got just here. I'm not cleaning that up for a minute. So I'm just going to now show you how you could, what it looks like and what this has done and how shiny it's going to become. So I've got a piping bag here, and just grab my scissors, and I am just going to put some of this, just check that temperature again. You always want to keep that temperature between 30 and 30 and a half, because that is your optimum. So if this now went down too low and it went to 27, 28, just pop it back on the heat for about 30 to 40 seconds, bring it off, stir it around again. Keep it in between that window of between 30 and 31, preferably 30, 30.5, and then just keep using it. Now, as soon as it solidifies again, you will have to go through the whole process again, bringing it back up to that 40 to 45, bringing it down again, using this to the 27, and then back up again to our 30. So they're your golden numbers. Let's put some of this in. it's good that you feel it as well, because then you'll get a feel for the temperature of it as well. Okay. So let's do some discs. One there. Lovely. Right, I'm going to put this back in. Now, if I take the temperature of this now, let's have a look and see what it is, how quickly that crashed down. That's still 30. So I'm still in my optimum amount there now, so I wouldn't need to heat that. So I'm just going to leave those. Now, the purpose of tempering is you get that massive shine, which at the moment I can see my lights and they are shining on them. Also, it doesn't take that long for it to solidify back up again and get that snap that you want. So there's no need for the freezers and the fridges and everything else, because you've brought it back to the state it wants to be. It reacts in the way it's meant to. So I'm going to clean all this up and then come back and show you the snap and what we did with tempering the chocolate. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, here we go. So we have a lovely little shine on the top there and a snap as well. It's not hard to do that. So that is what you're looking for. These really do dry solid and you've got this lovely shine. I'm not overly sure if you can see if the shine's picking up properly on here, but again, that's what you're after, that true snap. So that is how you temper your chocolate. So the same with this one. There we go. So maybe I did it a little bit thick, but it proves the point that you hear the snap, you hear how hard it is. Now, I'm not going to waste that because this can be reused. So I've got another bit here. Now this I've put on here. Now this wasn't tempered. This fell below and it was 27. So it's not quite as good as what it should be because it should stick to that 30. So to save this, I have got myself a Ziploc bag here. So I'm just going to put all of this into here. Don't waste any chocolate. And then I've put it out on here for you so that you can see. So all I'm going to do, you can do this on cling film, you can do this on a baking sheet. So I'm just going to take all of this, pop it into my Ziploc bag, keep it in the cupboard, and then I can reuse all of this for the next time I need it. So you would do the very, very same. Once it's in this form, you are going to do the same. You are going to bring it up to between 40 and 45. I would go 43 optimally, but between 40 and 45 it is going to work. Bring it down in temperature between 25 and 27 is where you want to sit, and then by mixing it into the bit that you left over, you want to bring it to in between that 30 and 31 to use. And so long as you always keep within those zones, you are going to have perfectly tempered chocolate. Don't forget, if it does drop in temperature but it's still liquid-like, just bring it back up onto the double boiler at the back and it's going to be absolutely fine, and just bring it up to that temperature of between 30 and 31 at all times. So if you are using a bit of equipment and it's got some dried chocolate on it, do not use that. If you use that, it's going to just attract the other chocolate to dry and you're going to ruin it. So you want to keep everything as smooth as possible. So I hope I've made this a little bit easier and I hope you kind of understand it a little bit better. And any questions, always come on and ask me, never any problems at all, and I will see you really, really soon. You take care. Bye bye.